Welcome to Couch Conversations, the space where real talk meets God talk.
We're two best friends who love Jesus, deep convos, and a whole lot of laughs.
From relationships and faith to the messy middle of adulting, we're chatting about it all right here on the couch.
So grab your snacks, get cozy, and let's get into it. This is Couch Conversations.
Hey, cousins, and welcome back to another episode of Couch Conversations. We're your hosts, Kelsey
And Deja.
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about dating in our 20s. We know that everyone has seen it across social media where people are talking about how dating has been, how it's going, how it's not going, how the dating pool is just straight trash. There's no one left out here for them.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about how it's been dating in our 20s as 20 somethings.
Almost 30 something.
29 to be exact. Just to give people like a perspective on what we've gone through. We're not experts. We're not
by no means
relationship coach or marriage counselors or whatever. None of that. This is just
that.
based on personal experience. And some things probably just like what we've heard from like our friends and things like that.
And what we've learned in this span of 9 years.
Yeah. So with that, to help us just kind of guide the conversation and just going based off what we've seen, we created some questions to just help us get going because this topic is very heavy, very complex, and
you can go in many directions.
Right.
Topic for sure.
Let's get started.
Let's get into it.
All right. So, do you believe in love at first sight? Or do you think it's just attraction?
For me, per se, I think that love is something that you have to nurture and kind of develop and grow into. And I don't think that looking at a person, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. Like, initially it is lust, because that's all you're going by. Like, of course, like, yeah, you probably had like, I mean, I guess you look at it two different ways. Like, if this is a random person that you just say bump into at the grocery store, or somebody that you met online or something, and y'all start communicating and stuff like that. But either way, like, even if you met someone online and y'all been communicating before you actually see each other in person, or even like when you on dating apps, like, you see their pictures or whatnot, like, you're not, well, for me, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm in love with that person. Right. Mine more so is, oh, he cute.
Like, oh, he look good.
Okay, then. Like, so I feel like personally is lust. Some people may disagree, but me personally, I feel like it's lust because I feel like you don't know enough about that person and their personality and this, that, and the third to say, oh, I'm in love.
Right. I would agree. I think it's like a physical attraction thing. And as much as people want to say they don't consider the physical part of it, and that's not to say that they don't, but
realistically,
I feel like in order for you to approach that person, you had to look at something.
Yeah.
So you're like analyzing them up and down, like, okay, how does he look? Is he well groomed? Does his clothes look right, fitted correctly, or are they like hanging off and all that stuff? Do they look dirty? Like, all those different things. I think you have to have some type of physical attraction. Some people may have it more than others, where it's like their top thing.
Yeah,
but
it's in there somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say that I don't believe in love at first sight because, like I said, I have to get to know you.
I need to first see if I like you.
Right. Because you can be the finest thing walking on these streets.
Right.
But have the most disgusting attitude and character and personality about yourself.
And it's immediately unattractive.
Exactly. And it just makes me think about some of the like popular shows, and I'm not gonna name those shows, but to think about those shows and how like you only have a few minutes to get to know someone, ask those questions. So maybe based on those questions and based on the answers that they give, there may be like an idea or a thought in your head where you're like, okay, this person's, they all right.
Yeah.
Just off that initial interaction. But that's not to say like, oh, I'm in love.
Right.
This my person.
Right.
Or nothing like that. But I mean, there have been people who have said, and I think about someone like well-known like content creators and fitness people that we know of who have said like, oh, I walked up to him at a college party or something and said, you're going to be my husband.
Yeah.
And now they are married and have kids and all this great stuff. And then you also have like the other person I mentioned who they hit it off and look at them now as well.
Yeah.
So it may work for some people, but me personally, I do not believe in love at first sight. Because like you said, it's just lust at the end of the day.
Right. So getting into that, talking about relationships and stuff, do you think talking stages are overrated or a necessary part of modern dating?
It's definitely a necessary part. It's not even just modern dating. Like I just think like when our parents were growing up and dating or whatever, they had to talk to their partners and stuff to get to know them. But just speaking now is definitely a necessary part. And I don't mean like y'all just texting all day.
Right.
That's another thing. Like pick up the phone, come see me.
Face
to face. So we can actually have a conversation, get to know each other deeper than the what you doing.
Right. Don't what you doing me all day, every day.
Can we link up?
Because we can't.
Why you texting me at 10 p.m. talking about linking up?
Pause. I don't know if you remember, it was one guy that we was in a talking stage and we never had an opportunity to meet in person, but he texted me at like 11 o'clock at night and was like, pull up, and got upset with me when I was like, bro, what? I kind, and he was the one that blocked me and said have a good life. Because I was like, I'm not pulling up at 11. Right. Like this is our first time interacting. There's only one thing that's going on at 11 o'clock at night.
Right. That's the only thing. Like, do I just like a piece of meat to you?
Cause her.
Do you just need something to take the edge off?
Okay.
That's what you need.
Cause I ain't it.
I ain't it. Like if, and not to get off topic, but it's also on topic. That is like, I feel like that's very disrespectful, especially in the early stages of getting to know someone.
Right.
Because if you only know to talk to me late at night and no other time of the day, and you're not making any other plans to see me outside of coming to your house.
Right. That just shows what you think of me.
Right.
And see me as.
Right. And that, please don't use that as a way to determine like, oh, do I want to continue talking to her just based off the sex part of it?
Because half of the time, never.
Half of
the time, it don't even be.
It can be horrible, but you can still have a great person. That's not to say that it can't improve.
But now you were so eager to do that, and now I'm turned off of you because you hyped to do what? To
take the edge off. To satisfy
your needs. You ain't take nothing off of me. I'm just looking like, is this what you was eager about? Like, take this body back. That don't count. Give me that.
Snatch my chain back.
That happened to me one time before, and I was like, I know you lying. How? But anyway,
going back. But going back to the it's talking like something that's needed in modern day dating. Yes, for sure. Because like I said, you need to get to know someone outside of the what you doing, pull up, what's your favorite color,
right?
What you like to eat, when's your birthday?
Yeah, like you said, I think it's essential because I think it's like the probationary period before you get to dating, like where you're not putting in too much, like you putting in time and energy, but not too much, like of it. And then with talking stages, like people have to understand. I don't think people know how to date nowadays. Like I think a lot of times when you find one person that you really like and you can have conversation with, like you kind of take, everybody else you just kind of forgetting about. But I'm like, if you're not exclusively in a relationship or y'all don't have that understanding, I feel like dating is you talking to multiple people and you seeing like where it goes. I mean, the best man win, like that's what it is. But put the bet on the floor. Whoever wants you gonna come hard, okay? But like a lot of people get like relationship and dating mixed up. So yes, I do believe talking stages are important because like you said, you're getting to know that person, you're getting to know like, do I really like you? Or is it just like how you said, oh, I just like how you look or whatnot. So I do think it's essential because a lot of people just jump into the serious part of it without like kind of weaving, like filling it out really. But that's not to say like your talking stage need to be like a long ass time. Like it needs to eventually get to the point like, okay, if you feel like this is a person that you want to continue on something serious with, y'all need to have a conversation with one another to see for one if they feel the same way or see where their head is. And then we need to discuss like how are we gonna do this moving forward.
And I would also add, like with the talking stage, you're also building that friendship because you need to be friends first with that person before you can say your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or whatever the case may be. Because if I don't have that connection with you, it's not gonna work. Because I can go talk to anybody and say we have this specific status or whatever. But you need to build that connection. And then something else I was gonna say, it was off of something you just said. What did you just say? You said about, dang, what did you just say? You said I was
dating multiple people.
Dating multiple people. Was it about that? Because I was so stuck on saying like, oh, friendship. It would not come to me. It was gonna be good too. Ooh, I can remember. Maybe it'll come back. But I remember. Also, people need to understand that what worked for one person you was talking to is not going to work for the next person. So also during that talking stage, you're understanding maybe what that person's love language is, because you can't love everybody the same way. And just because you may receive love one way doesn't mean the next person's going to receive it that way. So also understanding what works for them while also understanding what works for you and how y'all can meet in the middle. Because if it's just always catering to what they want or what they need or whatever, it's always going to be one-sided. And that's not going to lead to like a healthy relationship or one that's long-term.
And you bring up a good point about like loving people how they need to be loved, because I think sometimes people may go into relationships thinking like, okay, well, I did all this for whoever, and they appreciate it or they accept it or they know that I love them or whatnot, but now I'm doing it for you and you don't appreciate it or you don't think I love you, like simple stuff like that. Like, okay, for you, your people showing how you receive love may be words of affirmations or whatever it's called. Word of affirmations. But your boyfriend, the girl that your boyfriend dated before, how she received love may have been buying a gift or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those two, like, it doesn't work. Like, yeah, you can give me all the things in the world, but if I need like words of affirmation and stuff like that, and I'm not getting that, like, those stuff doesn't, not saying it doesn't mean anything, but it's not giving me what I need.
Right. And I was actually gonna say something like that. Like, let's say I'm down, I'm just feeling bad, and you think the way to cheer me up is buy me, I don't know, designer bag or something,
right?
When actually I just want a hug,
right?
I just want quality time. I just want to sit in silence. I just want the words of affirmation or like the encouragement or something like that. The acts of service.
Yeah.
Because I've come to realize that is like my second
tier
best. Or second love language.
Yeah.
My top.
Your top two. It's in your top two and it's
number two. Because at first it used to be like quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts. Is it receiving or giving? Whatever. But now, like, with my current relationship, it has shown me like, oh, you really do appreciate when people do things for you. And maybe that's because like in my previous relationships, situationships, whatever, I wasn't, those things weren't being done as far as like acts of service. So when you get someone who's doing those things, especially someone who's like independent or used to doing things on their own, and like, I ain't got time to wait. I'm gonna pick this box up
and I'm gonna do it
and I'm gonna carry myself.
Right.
But now, like, when you experience something different or something that you're not used to, it makes you realize like, oh, I really do like this. I really do appreciate this.
I just didn't know I did because I never had it done.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's another reason why it's important to experience this talking stage beyond the basic and bare minimum of what I mentioned earlier, like favorite color, favorite restaurant. Oh, do you travel?
Do you even travel? You asked me that. Where we gonna go then?
And then also it helps understand, like, I feel like it gives people a glimpse into how someone was raised as well. Because let's say you were raised in a home where you weren't really openly shown love.
Yeah.
So the way that you may show it or express it to someone else may not be what they're used to. Like, I may be used to hugs and all this other stuff. You may not be used to that. Right. So now, like, let's say I try to give you a hug, now you just like, you tense up or something like that. So understand those different things and peeling back the layers like an onion. I think that's the best way to explain like the talking stage. It's peeling back the layers and understanding what makes this person who they are.
Yeah.
And then also understanding that the talking stage doesn't stop when y'all go up another level or become boyfriend, girlfriend.
It has to
You're
continue.
constantly learning something new about your partner, regardless of how long y'all have been together.
Because they're constantly changing and evolving. Right. Like, who you are today is not the same person that you was a year ago. Right. Even 6 months ago, because things can happen. And I think that's how a lot of relationships get stagnant and stale, because a lot of people don't want to continue to put in the work because they think
dating your partner.
Yeah, because they think, well, I got them, then I don't need to do anything. It's easy to get a person, but it's hard to stay with a person because, yeah, you see people who, people always aspire to be with somebody for 50 years, 40 years, 60 years, but don't realize, like, you have to put in the work to get to that point. Like you say, you have to constantly be in that talking stage and that dating stage because we're always changing. And it just requires that.
And it's also not going to always be pretty. It's not going to always be rainbows and unicorns and sunshine. It's going to be storms. It's going to be pitch black, dark.
You want to wrestle them you want to put them in a chokehold sometimes. But that's the part of you getting to know them and just being like, okay, because you said something earlier. It was like, it was basically about the looks or whatnot. Like, okay, if you go into a relationship, it's just based off the looks, or whatnot. That's not gonna last when y'all having an argument or disagreement, I should say, about something, because it's like, what's gonna keep you together besides the looks? Because I know me, and I know disagreements I have going in, and I know me. The person I'm with looks is not gonna make me want to stay with them. Like, I need to know, like, despite this argument, like, at some point we can come together and come to understanding and stuff like that. Like, it's not just a superficial type connection, like it's a deeper connection and things like that. So yeah, I don't know where else I was going with that, but
we're too young for this.
I know. Too young. I know. But all in all, the talking stage is important. I feel like it's the foundation.
Yes.
That's where I was going. It's the foundation of any relationship that you have or you want to last.
Because you want to make sure you have a sturdy and stable foundation. Because they're going back to kind of what you said, like with disagreements, there will be things that will test your relationship. So if you don't have that sturdy and stable, solid foundation, it's going to easily crumble. And that's not to say like you're for sure going to have your rocky times in a relationship.
For sure.
So you have to be able to stand on that foundation, know that it's going to be okay. This is just a little rock in the road or whatever.
Right.
So
but then we can stand. Yeah. You have to. You need. It's essential. So yes, I will say it's not overrated. It's essential, because if you want longevity, you have to you just have to think like, okay, this is what I need in order for this to last.
And something else I would also mention, because I feel like when we were younger, we would put a time stamp on everything.
Right.
Like, we just need to talk for 3 months. And then by month 3, he needs to ask me to be his girlfriend, or whatever the case may be.
Because neither one of us, I feel like with our current relationships, I can be open and honest. Me, my fiance and I, we were, well, he said we were boyfriend and girlfriend at our first date. Anyway, but we didn't become official until like, I want to say 9 or 10 months after we started talking. So it's, and I'm not used to that. Well, really, some of the other ones, I don't know. Like my last serious relationship, like the one in college, we were boyfriend and girlfriend like 2 weeks after we met each other. I still don't even remember how we met each other. Maybe I don't know. We went to high school together, but he was bad as hell. But I don't even know how we. I think it was Facebook or something. We was like friends in inbox anyway. But like within like 2 weeks, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we was together for like 3 years. But them 3 years was so much, a little shaky, but a little shaky, Lord. But that one made me shave my hair.
It sure did. You went through so many hairstyles.
I went through so much.
You had lots. You was like, I don't like them.
Combed them out. Shaved my head. Lord,
thank God for deliverance.
Thank God for deliverance. But I said that to say, like, I had jumped in that relationship. It was like 2 or 3 weeks after meeting each other. We was together for 3 years, but that was such a tumultuous time. It wasn't all bad, but majority of it was not that great.
And sometimes it can just be the person too.
Definitely person. But like I said, my now fiance, like I said, it was 9 months. It was 9 months that we've been talking before we officially became boyfriend and girlfriend, or what? And I guess that was like a year and a half later. we got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last December, we got engaged. So it's like you really can't put no time, like in the span of 3 years. I done got engaged, or 2.5, 3, whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's 3 because y'all was talking. We went to Puerto Rico.
So 2022 is when we started talking, and we got engaged in 24.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can't put a time on
you
stuff.
Can't, because I feel like if you put a timestamp on things, and when that time comes and nothing has happened, now you're disappointed because you set these high expectations or whatever, thinking like, okay, at this time we need to be such and such or doing whatever. And that's
putting too much control on it.
Right. And some things you just can't control, because if you try to control it, especially when it's not meant to be controlled, that can mess things up. Like just going with the flow, like seeing where things, like being intentional with whoever you're talking to. And that's in the talking stage, being very intentional of setting like the tone, yes, of like, hey, I'm intentional. If your goal is to intentionally date and possibly lead to something long term, let that be known.
Right.
Like, I'm looking for something long term, blah blah blah. That way, if that's not their goal,
to the end.
Right. So being intentional, understand that you can't put a time stamp, line, date, whatever on dating, because it's just unrealistic.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're right. It definitely sets you up for a disappointment, and you start worrying more about the timeline than the actual relationship.
And then that also makes me think about like how we, and sometimes we do this not realizing that we're doing it, but how we judge our life based on what we see others doing on social media. Like,
that goes into our next question,
because we see that they're married and all this stuff,
like that couple you said,
right, by the age, I don't know, I'm gonna just say 26 or something, and doing all this stuff, or even age 30, since we're almost 30. We think like, oh, we're behind, not realizing that's not your life. You're not them. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
You could meet your husband tomorrow and you don't even know.
And now here you are beating yourself up and thinking you're behind in life because
who race you in though? Yours or somebody else's?
You worrying about what they got going on. You need to be worried about yourself. Like you said, your husband can be at the grocery store tomorrow,
but you missing it because you worry about what she got going on for it.
And here you could be preparing yourself to be someone's wife. And you worry about what Susie and Tommy got going on.
But that goes into our next question. How has social media and dating apps shaped the way we approach relationships?
So I'm going to start with the dating apps part, because we both have so much experience with dating apps.
Not so much. Don't say so much.
So
how many years ago? It's been about 3 years when we first got on. I feel like it was like 2021. Or was it 2020?
It was 20. What? I want to say it probably was 21, because that's where I met Shorty. Short.
I don't think we ever came up with a nickname for him. My long situationship.
Oh, that one?
I don't think we ever came up with a name with him.
Confusion.
That's the way it should be for real.
So yeah, I would say 2021, because I remember
I did meet him in 2021 too. Yeah.
What's that? Or what's
it? So it had to be 2020 then.
What year did we go to Houston?
20. No, because we went your birthday.
It was 21. Time. 21. It was 21, because I remember I think we forgot to set the thing.
Oh yeah,
and it was Houston people were popping up.
Yeah,
Yes, but so for context, we've both used Hinge.
BLK was first.
We've used BLK.
That was it. And Hinge.
Yeah, I think those are only two. Like we really.
I think I downloaded Bumble like one.
I
only had that thing for an hour. I said, "Oh no, this is not my." Yeah,
I think that first go around, like just like reflecting back and comparing it, like when we got back on there. Well, I know for myself,
for BLK or Hinge,
both. There was, and maybe it was just the time difference too, because I didn't get back on there until 22.
You met Shorty Short on BLK?
I think it was Hinge.
I
think. I don't know.
I don't think I had Hinge then.
It might have been BLK. I can't remember.
It had to be BLK.
I can't remember. It probably was.
Yeah. Because I feel like we got on Hinge at the same time. One of our old friends told us about Hinge. And I feel like I started an account. That's what it was. I started an account before in 2020. Because that's when like we were still like friends and was like going, because she met her boyfriend like off of there. And then I was like, I'm not doing this, because in my head I'm always thinking like I'm gonna get snatched up by somebody.
And I think we was trying to do it the old school way.
Yeah, that's what in the midst of a pandemic. But yeah, we was and I was talking to somebody in 2019.
I want to say I was off and on with bands at the time.
Yeah. Okay, 2019. I just were gotten out of a relationship. And then 2020, I started putting my foot back out there a little bit.
Put your toe out there.
Put my toe out there. And I had like a little situationship for a couple of months. And then we got on the dating sites. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's coming together. Yeah, because BLK, it was like they was.
I didn't like BLK at the time. It was a little.
You had your little.
Because we used to have the conversation of, and this isn't to sound cocky or anything, but we used to have the conversation of like, did they really look at me and look at my profile and think that they could really
like,
bag
I can
me?
bag this way? Yeah, we did.
And that's, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah, but not for me. Everybody ain't for me. And some of the ones on they they had to make it make sense, and it wasn't making sense.
It just gave who sent you,
and not even just they looks, but they profiles compared to mine. Where in that did you think like our lives would mesh together?
I know they say opposites attract, but
that's a little too opposite.
No,
that was not.
No, what's that? Things were repelling. Is that the word?
Yeah. Yeah, but I did like on there. I said that I had. I've experienced some crazy people on there.
Oh, for sure.
Like some of the people on there. Y'all, some of these people on dating apps,
they're different.
Like one guy, he was cute. And I was having a conversation. I don't know if you remember this, what I told you. And so he sent me this text about he was basically like, girls, women think I'm cool, and I tell them what I like. And then he just started saying some off the wall stuff.
No, that reminds me of that time.
I was like, am I in like the Twilight Zone? What is this? Where's the camera? I was flabbergasted. I think I was traumatized after reading those messages.
That reminds me of that time. And I think I text you about this. We text about everything.
Is this the swingers?
Huh? The swingers? Yes. Somebody asked me Did they ask me like,
are you into it, or would you go to one?
It was something. The way they like started the conversation off, I was just like, okay. It might have been like, I got to tell you something, or ask like your opinion or something like that. And they asked me like, would I like be a swinger or
go to a swinger party?
Or a swinger party? And I'm just like, I had to let that message marinate because I was just like,
is you cool? Like
what gives that off that I would participate in something like that?
Sometimes it be the people that you least expect.
That too, but no.
I will say those dating apps really brought like some realizations to me. Like, people are different out here. Like,
I had somebody find my Instagram, and I don't know if it's because like, you know how you could put your Instagram handle on there, and he messaged me, and at first he was being all cool or whatever.
Wait, is that the one that was hella rude?
Yeah. He started calling me out my name. Yeah, him. Yeah.
That's not funny.
Yeah,
it's not funny.
Yeah.
When they go to extremes, like,
you started calling me a B word because I'm telling you that I'm not interested in talking to you. Like, I see your profile still on there. I just ain't delete the thing. I haven't scrolled to the app because I think I was talking to someone at that time where I wasn't. I don't know, but he just started going off. That goes to guys and women too, but guys, speaking from a woman's perspective, but some guys not being able to handle rejection,
right?
And it has gotten to the point where
it's dangerous.
It's dangerous. Women's our lives are in danger, and now we're having to give our numbers out, although we don't want to do that because I know I don't like everybody having my number.
No.
Just so we can possibly avoid being put in danger or anything like that, because now you have people being killed over rejection or brutally
harassed
attacked or something like
that,
or getting called out their name and stuff. But going back to the original question, what was it again?
How has social media and dating apps shaped the way we approach relationships?
Okay, so dating apps. So like we said, we use those two apps. Like even prior to like our current relationships, and even that's how we met the people who we are in relationships with. It helped us. Well, I guess I should speak for myself, but it helped me to see what's out there.
See what I don't want.
Experience some characters.
One thing that people should remember: what glitters ain't gold. Because some of these people be fine, but baby, they ain't wear that.
And that makes me. Hold on, I'll keep that in the back of my head because I have a thought. But it helps understand, like, you get to experience these different people, and of course you're gonna have a different experience from each person. Helps you realize what you don't want, what you're really not attracted to that you thought you were. And then it also helps you understand like how people think and how they actually date. So like I started from 2021 up until 24. Yeah, because that's when me and the guy I'm in a relationship with now, that's when we met, was in 24. I started changing how I, like, when they ask like what you're looking for, I know it clearly says in my bio long term. When they ask that, I would be like, I'm intentionally dating with hopes of meeting someone who aligns with what I'm looking for. So making sure that you're adding that intentional part, because you could just be like, I'm dating. They just think you're dating for ish and giggles, but you're actually intentional. So it helps also like weed out the people.
And also not giving them too much, because you can say, I'm looking for a guy who, I don't know, who makes me laugh, who opens the door for me, just giving examples or whatnot. And they can do enough to get you in to act like this is who they are. But long term, it's like, this is not really like what you really are. Like, you, because it's only so long that a person can pretend to be something that they're not, unless they just somebody who's just like a pathological liar and just keep it up. But like, eventually, like, people show their true colors and intentions and stuff. So a tip for anybody who out there dating, like, when somebody asks you like, what are you looking for, or what do you like inside a person, you can give them a little bit, but don't lay out the whole thing. You want them to work for it,
right? And that's when you should be very observant of the person. Really take the time to get to know them and ask those questions,
right?
Without, like you said, giving them too much, because like you said, anybody can say they do this and do that and they don't even do nothing close to it,
right?
Like, let's say you say, oh, I'm looking for a provider. A lot of people instantly think about financially,
right?
And it's way more to it. Can you provide a safe space for me? Can you provide stable emotional? Can you provide emotional and mental stability?
Right.
It's more to it than financially. But the thought that I had was, with AI now, and I don't know because I'm not on these apps, but it makes me wonder, like, if people are using AI to maybe help write their response to prompts.
For sure.
So that's also adding like an extra layer of precaution. That you really, that really makes me glad I'm not.
Okay, like, I'm not out there
trying to oh gosh.
It's like, oh, you're really fake.
Right.
It's not even really you.
Right, because like, you're so much time is being wasted. I won't say wasted, but you're taking time out to get to know people, and you gotta keep starting over from the beginning and all that stuff,
and that is tiresome,
right,
and aggravating. Yeah,
but to go back to the original question, I think with the dating apps it has helped, and then just also just evolving as a woman, it has helped me. I was always intentional, of course, but it helped me be more intentional and more, what's the word? More cautious, and more vocal in what I'm looking for,
right,
and who I'm looking
for from.
Yeah.
I agree. Like you said earlier, I feel like the dating apps have opened my mind and broadened like my standards a little bit. Like, my standards have never been low,
right,
but it's just like I had to be like, oh, I need some. I think I add a little bit more, because it's just not giving like what it was giving. Now, I feel like when we first got on dating apps, it was a little bit better compared to like the times of us kind of dwindling off of them, because you could kind of see, like, BLK, for example, it was okay at first, but then it just went like a straight plummet. Like, it was just basically like back page. Like, everybody was just finding somebody to do something.
I got tired of seeing the same people.
That too. And then they migrated to Hinge. Now, off BLK, I did have 2 situationships that kind of like, one lasted like a year and a half, and the other one I don't know. He just got a little weird, but it lasted a couple months. I thought he was cool, but guess not. But anyway, as far as social media, not me per se, but just in general, I think that social media puts a fake light on what relationships really are. And I feel like a lot of people try to model their relationships off those that they see on social media, not realizing, like, you have to realize, like, people can put on whatever face they want when that camera turns on, but outside of that, you don't know what goes on behind that. And I feel like I've said this before, that I've seen, like, firsthand of, like, somebody portraying something on social media, but behind the camera, it's like, bro, this not really you. Like, why you putting on and stuff like that? So it's like, me seeing it firsthand was an immediate, like, yeah, I'm not falling for that. Like, a lot of people say couple goals and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, but don't try to get so bogged down into that where you trying to um create and develop your relationships off of that, because you're going to get disappointed when it doesn't exactly mirror how you see these social media couples doing. Because for one, you don't know what all, like, it could be real, never saying that it's not, but you don't know all the work and the things that they had to put into that relationship to get to what you see, on there. So a lot of people see, like, the couple goals, but they don't realize the work that you had to put in to achieve those goals. A lot of people want the outcome, but don't want the process for the outcome.
Yeah, and something I always say, like, and it just kind of piggybacks off what you just said, is one thing to admire someone's relationship, but don't go around trying to be an exact copy of them, because that's impossible. It is very impossible. So that kind of also leads into our next question of, do you feel like people in their 20s, so like us, are looking for a long-term commitment or short-term fun?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think a lot of people say they want they say they want a long-term relationship, but they don't want to do the things to have a long-term relationship. And it goes back to the question we talked about, where the talking stages are important. So the talking stages, the putting in the work to communicate and continuing dating your partner, things like that. I think a lot of people, like I said, say they want it but don't want to do the work for it. And some people, that isn't on, like, on their mind to have a long-term relationship. They just here for a good time, not a long time, and that's okay. If that's your prerogative, then that's okay. But I feel like it's a mix of both. But I think sometimes I don't know, people, I think part of that too is people don't know what they want. And I think that's where a lot of confusion, a lot of disappointments, a whole lot of just come into play, because people really don't know what they want.
And I think it also depends on what stage you're at in your life as well. Like, if you're, so like you said, maybe dating isn't really on their mind, so they just want something to pass the time. But like you said, it's a mixture of both, because you have some people who are ready to settle down, who are ready to have that family or whatever the case may be. Then you have some people who just want someone just to talk to or whatever.
Want a companion.
Right.
Get a dog. Say that for you.
But and that's not to say either one is wrong, because what works for you may not work for me.
Right.
And like I said, it goes back to being in different stages of your life. And you also have to be mentally ready for a relationship as well, mentally and emotionally ready. Because somebody told me this a long time ago, and they were like, a relationship, or they might have said a marriage, but I'm gonna just say relationship in general because a marriage is a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like a business. If you don't put in the work to keep your business running efficiently, it's not going to be successful.
Right.
So like with a relationship, you have to keep putting in the work like all the time.
Yeah.
And there will be days where you're not going to be 100%. Like you may just be able to give 70, I may just be able to give 30, but we're at least trying. So continuously putting in that work to allow it to continue to function and work towards being successful.
Right. I agree. And it's okay. I think people have like this, a lot of people have this cookie cutter way of thinking that our lives should be. Everybody don't want to be married. Everybody doesn't want to have a family. Like people just like to, have short-term fun. It's okay. Like let people live how they want to live. Like don't be going to people, especially like you see somebody in their late 20s, just per se. Don't be going to ask them when they getting married, when they having a family. How do you know they even want that? But with that, if you know that's not what you want, don't be in a relationship with someone where you know that is what they want and that's what they aspire to have. If you know that's not for you, don't entertain a relationship with them, because somebody's gonna go lacking at something. Either you're gonna end up in something that you didn't want and you're miserable, or they get too attached to you and then it's like, oh, you really don't really want this like how I want it.
And that goes back to the importance of the talking stage. It goes back to that.
So I think this question kind of piggybacks off of that one. Do you think situationships are just a normal part of being in your 20s, or do they make things more complicated?
I think it's a mixture. Is it healthy? No. But it's definitely a mixture, because maybe there were hopes of you all progressing to an actual relationship, because maybe someone just falsely painted that picture or that ideal, but it didn't end up that way. And maybe y'all was really just vibing like that.
Yeah.
And that happens. But I think it also teaches you, it helps you realize like, okay, this isn't what I really want. I really want the commitment of a relationship. I don't want the like, oh, we're in a situationship, we're not exclusive, so you can still like do whatever you want to do, and I can still do whatever I want to do, but I may not do it because I may really be feeling you.
Right.
So I'm gonna just start putting all my time into you, although we're not fully committed.
I'm in a relationship with you in a situation.
So it's normal. Like I said,
I feel like it has become normalized.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be normal.
And because I was going to say like it's normal, but it's not always expected. Because of course you can go through. Well, I don't know. I had to think that through just now because I was going to say you can go through life without having a situationship. I feel like everyone has experienced a situationship in some capacity because, of course, it's not going to look the same,
whether intended or not intended.
Right.
Because, like you said, like you can go in like thinking like, oh, this gonna turn into like with the hopes of like thinking like, okay, we're gonna do a little something, but that little something never happened.
Especially if they paint it that way,
right?
Like, oh, like, yeah, I'm feeling you and all this stuff, because people will say that.
Yeah, they will. I feel like situationships just complicates things because the lines are so blurry and it can get messy really quickly because like you said, if they paint the picture that they want to eventually have a relationship, and you in your mind I feel like as women we kind of already know like if there's somebody we want to like deal with long term. So in your mind, if you like, all right, this gonna be mine. I ain't talking to nobody else. And stuff like that. Especially if you're doing a deal with them or whatnot. It gets really blurry because it starts feeling like a relationship because y'all doing all the things and it's just so much, but you don't have that exclusivity like in it. And like you said, it's like, okay, I may not be doing it even though I can because we're not technically exclusive, but I'm not going to do anything because of how I know I feel about you. But you can go out and do something and I can't be upset because we're not in a relationship. So I feel like it just leaves too much room for just messiness and hurt feelings to get involved.
And I will also add, there may be cases, and I feel like there have been cases, and I feel like I may have experienced this. It's a big may. But like where you're both feeling each other, but one of y'all are afraid of commitment.
Yes, I definitely have experienced that.
Yes. And like you said, situationships can bring a lot of hurt. It can hurt as if it's a breakup. Like, let's say y'all separate, y'all decide y'all don't want to do it anymore. It can hurt just as bad as a committed relationship breakup. Well, not all of them may hurt.
I'll tell you this one, but it hurt. I was ready to go.
It can hurt just like that because it's just like, we made this connection, we created this bond, we invested just without the commitment and the exclusivity to it.
So you also heard of what could and should have been because you didn't get it or whatnot. And it just I was gonna say it leaves room for confusion too. It gets very confusing. That's why his name is confused. That's why his name is confusion. Like, I had a situationship for like I would say a year and a half. Or whatnot. It was a lot of like on and off like type thing. Or I'd be like, I'm done. And then I'd be like, hey, big head. Or like he'll text me and we're like back on it. But we started off like
same.
Like head first, like a week he's staying at my place. The next week I'm staying at his. We may have a couple of days break in between. Y'all, I'm a little ashamed to say, but I'll be cooking Sunday dinners on a Tuesday for this man. Like, he'll buy groceries and stuff for me to cook, like all types of things. Like, we spending so much time together, and it feels like a relationship. Like, he's at work, and I, work from home or whatnot, and literally he's at work and he's on the phone with me all day, even though we're gonna see each other tonight. He's on the phone with me all day. We probably ain't even saying much of nothing to each other, but we on the phone with each other. But again,
it mimics a relationship.
It mimics a relationship. We was never exclusively together.
Even the devil was an angel.
Even the devil was an angel. Lord, he was a devil, and he wasn't a bad person. Right. he just was afraid of commitment. And something had happened, but I didn't do anything. But something happened that kind of made him, I'll say, fall back from me. But it was a misunderstanding. Like if I did something, I would say like I did something, but it was a misunderstanding that occurred. And so it just, I feel like that's another reason why the situationship lasted as long as it did, because it's like we almost kind of started over a little bit. But yeah, like you said, situationships, like when you end it, it can hurt just as much as like a real, I won't say it's not real, because there is like real feelings involved and stuff like that, but it does hurt just as much as like an official relationship, because you have put so much time and energy and feelings like into this person for it not to go anywhere. It's just be like, dang. Dang. And like when you really like them and they like you too, but it's like that little thing of commitment, that's like a scary word for some of them. And they want to do it when it's too late.
Big word for Elmo.
Big word for Elmo. But they want to do it when it's too late. And that would happen with this. Like, he wanted the commitment after I kind of was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this. There's somebody who I don't have to like beg for nothing that's like on that type of time that I'm on or whatnot. So it just, I don't know. It complicates a lot of things.
Yeah, because like you said, like when you both, or when it seems like you've both invested the time and put in, like the feelings are there, and y'all go y'all separate ways, it hurts. Because I just think about that situationship I was in with Top Flight, and that one right there.
Yeah.
But you have y'all. Deja's a real one. Deja's a real one. She ain't even act like this. What I'm about to tell y'all, she ain't even act like this with the person I was in a relationship with previously. With that person, she was just like, forget him. But with this situationship,
he still pisses me off to this day.
She messaged him. And what did you say?
What did I say?
That you didn't appreciate. Did you say something like, I didn't appreciate how you
did my sense? I said I was effed up, and I basically told him he wasn't a man. He wasn't a real for that or whatnot. Like, if you knew that this isn't something that you wanted, you could have left her alone. And he was really portraying something he really wasn't. Like, Kelsey's a good girl, and she gives a lot to situations and relationships that she in. So like me, like I don't get into like her business with her relationships and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we ask each other like how things are going and stuff like that. Like, I don't do that much, but as far as like, oh girl, you don't need to, like, no, because you know that's her thing. But when you hurt her, oh, like, that's it. Like, all bets is off at that point. Like, now you got me effed up. Like, and it don't even be me. You ain't doing nothing to me. But you mess with her, like, just knowing that type of person that she is. Like, if she was one of my friends that was just like a city girl who don't care, who do these dudes however, then I'm like, whatever, he's just another one. But she's not like that. So I feel like he was one that really,
I think, like, reflecting on it and also just growing from that situation, I think
he was a user.
Yes. And I also think he wasn't used to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I also don't do that for every single person.
Right.
I meet. Like the things that I did.
Yeah.
And I think he just had a lot. I'm not gonna say what my mama called him on here. I'll tell you later. Cause that may offend someone.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a lot going on.
Yeah.
He had a lot.
He was an example of not ready to be out there.
Yeah. But he portrayed it so well.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to what we were saying, like how people can paint this picture of like, oh, I want to be with you and all this stuff,
right.
But they're afraid of commitment. And that's not saying that's what it was, because I honestly don't know, still don't know to this day, and honestly don't care.
Yeah.
Because please don't text me. Please don't reach out.
Stay where you at.
Please. But that one was very confusing.
Yeah.
It's like you can't put your finger on it. Like it could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
But knowing exactly which one it is,
it just gives Risa Tisa her story a little bit. Just a little bit. Not like all the way.
Yeah.
But like,
I think going back to the using part, I think it goes because when I started doing what I did, they saw it as an opportunity, and they really took advantage of it.
Yeah.
So it didn't push them to do what they needed to do to get back to doing what they needed to be doing, because they saw this opportunity. It was like, oh, well, she's just going to keep doing it for me and all this stuff, so I'm just keep taking advantage of it. Right. Shoot. But yeah, that's just like an example of another, like how we said a situationship can be just as hurtful as an actual like committed exclusive relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like two. Shorty man, short. I can just flick him, but let me not say that. It's just flick him, but it's just like I feel like those two bands in Top Flight were the ones that I really just.
Ben's really like,
like just how I just be like,
Ben's is full of himself. He thought his ish did not stink at all, and it was everybody else's problem. Everybody else was the problem. He was the victim.
I'm glad he gone.
Oh, for sure. Like I am happy where I am.
I'm glad you at where you at. I like her. I tell her this all the time. I like her boyfriend for her. I do. I really do. I don't have anything bad to say about him. But if I did, I wouldn't tell her, because like that's like what, unless he really like did some like stuff, I'd be like, all right, no, but but yeah, I really like him for you. But yeah, them other
I make you wanna catch a charge.
Listen.
Well, you know, I that time I had my surgery, when I had my gallbladder removed,
she knew not to call me, because you didn't tell me till after the fact.
I was trying to recover from my surgery that I had literally like a week before. Literally a week before. Here I am, still hurt, still got stitches in me and stuff.
And this one at food.
And I'm calling my mama in my own place where I pay my own bills.
And I was right up the street. Not up the street, but closer than her mama.
I was like, Mama, come get me.
Mind you, y'all, I was 30 minutes away from her.
Mind you, y'all, I was in my own place. When I'm telling my mom to come get me out my place, when that boy need to leave.
You need to leave.
Oh, God. I'm not going to go into detail as to what happened, but it was that was like the final straw, because like prior to that, I was already like over it, because it was like very emotionally abusive. Yeah. But that right there was like the final straw. And that was honestly like, that happened 2 months before. I was just like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done.
Done.
But if y'all have any comments or anything about the questions we've asked so far, make sure you drop it in the chat. Tell us about your experience. Tell us what you think about the questions we've asked. And yeah, make sure y'all come back for part 2 because we have some more questions. Because like we said earlier, dating in general is such a very complex and like deep conversation, deep topic. And then especially added on the layer of dating in your 20s. So make sure y'all come back for part 2. And we'll see you soon.